Welcome back to the Hipkins Twins YouTube channel, and today we are going to talk a little bit about the 1976 Boston Red Sox, because I am holding a 1976 Boston Red Sox official yearbook, and I've had this since 1976. My brother and I got it at a game against the Oakland A's in the summer of '76 that we attended with my grandfather, who I've mentioned a lot in these videos, and my father. And we didn't take my little brother because he was too young. He was only like 3, so he was too young to go to the game. But I remember it was Kyle Yastrzemski's 37th birthday, I believe. It was the game, and I'm going to show you a little bit about this. I'm going to show you the whole thing, actually. I'm going to open it up. And I want to show you this. This is my twin brother, Jay, who died in 2018. This was his Red Sox hat. And it's even embroidered in the back with his name on it. So, here it is. I'm going to open up. That's Fred Lynn on the front. One of my favorite Red Sox players of all time. When he was traded to the Angels, that was a bad day. Here is the schedule, and Red Sox used to be on channel TV 38. My grandfather would watch every game that he could on channel 38, or we'd listen to it on the radio. And there is Yaz, and that's the first page. And I believe that's Tommy Yaki there, the owner. That's him right there. That's Daryl Johnson, and that is Richard O'Connell. He was the vice president. So Tommy Yaki was the owner of the Red Sox for years. So we've got Fred Lynn here on the front page. He was the 1975 most valuable player and rookie of the year. And we got, of course, Louis Tiant. Won 2 games in the 1975 World Series. Pitched a dandy in the 3rd game, too. And, of course, Jim Rice, who was one of the stalwart outfield figures in the Red Sox in the 1970s, along with Lynn and Evans. And there's Carlton Fisk. Trying to get that light out of there so you can see don't get that glare. There's Fergie Jenkins. He didn't play with the Red Sox long, but he played. He was good when he played with them. That's just an ad there. And over here we've got Rooster Rick Burleson, the shortstop, and of course Yaz, who was nearing the end of his career. I mean, he was he retired in '83, so he still had a few years left, but he was a little bit beyond his prime there in '76. There's Denny Doyle. He was a good second baseman. They picked him up from the Angels in '75. There's Dwight Evans, Dewey, with that rocket arm. That is Cecil Cooper. He was another slugger, first baseman. And the Brewers got him after a while. That is, who is this? That's Jim Burton. I believe that's Jim Burton, and that is Bernie Cabo, who hit a home run, Game 6, the World Series in '75. And then we got the coaching staff over here, and that is Dick Stockton and Ken Hawk Harrelson. And we've got Rice and Lynn talking in the outfield there. I always like that picture. And we've got Reggie Cleveland, and I believe that's Doug Griffin down there. They called him Dude. Rick Miller and Bob Montgomery, who was the last person to not wear a batting helmet while batting. And we've got the camp roster, and we got a picture of Fenway in 1976. Let me flip it around there. And we got Diego Segui, and I believe that's Tim Blackwell, a catcher, backup catcher. And we got, that is That's Jim Willoughby. I saw him pitch. And Dick Pole. Well, he gets his name made fun of. And that is Tom House and Darren Johnson, who's a journeyman. And Don, well, you can say his last name. And Kim Andrew, he was a prospect. Who's that? Buck Baker. John Balaz and Mark Barr. We've got Bomber Bomback, Ted Cox, Steve Dillard, Bob Heiss, and Butch Hobson, who later became the manager of the Red Sox. And I saw, so Butch Hobson in that game we went to, I think he overthrew first base or something like that. Or it was a wild throw to first base. My grandfather, we were sitting over on the third base side behind the dugout. We had pretty good seats. My father splurged for these seats. And he kept yelling at Butch Hobson, "Quit throwing like a girl!" I could have sworn Butch Hobson looked back at him, but I don't know. And over here we got Rick Jones, Andy Merchant, Gene Michael. I didn't know he played for the Sox. Jerry Spencer and Jim Wright. And I believe that's all the players. Then we got the front desk. And then we got some pictures from the World Series there. Pictures. There's Pete Rose up there running around the bases. There's Tiant playing with his jacket on. And we've got, that's the Armbruster bunt. The interference call there. I believe that's Carbo around in the, or is that Fisk? That's, yeah, Carbo and Fisk. Will McEnany celebrating. And that's Burleson making a catch. So that is here's a good Fenway Franks hot dog ad from 1976. So, and in the back is the Magnavox TV. So that is the 1976 Boston Red Sox official yearbook. And I hope you enjoyed that. It's one of my treasures that I've had for 50 years now. So we will see you again next time.